person in the world to buy a Volkswagen just walked through our doors. This is an historic moment.
Imagine this: GM catalogs, big tail fins on cars, and parents promising love seats. Child car seats that looked futuristic, weirdly elegant, or just plain odd. These were the car seats of childhood, sometimes padded, sometimes metal, rarely safe by today's standards, but always unforgettable. Buckle up. Here are 7 vintage car seats that defined rides in the 60s and 70s. Number 1. GM Love Seats, 1973 infant and child versions.
Moving to a compact means giving up a lot. Not so. General Motors' 1975 Chevrolet Nova, Pontiac Ventura, Oldsmobile Omega, and Buick Apollo offer you a comfortable ride.
Now, this one takes the cake for both creativity and questionable safety. In 1973, GM introduced what they proudly called the Love Seat for kids, a pint-sized padded bench that looked more like a living room ottoman than something meant to keep your child safe at 60 miles an hour. It wasn't really strapped in tight, and the kids weren't either. Instead, it was designed to keep little ones comfortable and happy during rides, with marketing that leaned more toward cuteness than protection.
Announcing 1979 Pontiac style with our new Sunbird Coupe. With more standard features than ever before and for less money than a comparably equipped 78. Delco AM radio, white walls, custom wheel covers, body side moldings, tinted glass. 5 new standards for $79.
Parents back then probably thought, hey, at least the kids aren't climbing all over the back seat anymore. But let's be honest, calling it a car seat was generous. It was more like giving the kids their own VIP lounge in the back of the station wagon. No harness, no airbags, no real restraints, just soft padding and good vibes. It reflected the 70s perfectly. Safety was still kind of optional, but style and convenience were everything. Looking back, the Love Seat feels like the perfect time capsule of the era. Well-intentioned, a little bit groovy, and not exactly what you'd call OSHA approved. Number 2. Molded all-purpose infant seat, 1971.
If you want this much room and a stable ride and really believe you'll only get it in a bigger car, you're in for a pleasant surprise. Because now you can get that room and ride in the first wide small car, the AMC Pacer.
By the mid-70s, car companies started experimenting with booster-style seats, basically glorified cushions that gave kids a little extra height. The idea was simple: prop the kid up high enough so the seatbelt sort of fit, and so they could see out the window. To a parent, that sounded like a win-win. After all, every kid in the 70s remembers that the ultimate luxury on a long road trip was being able to see over the dashboard like a grown-up.
Hi there. The 1970 Volkswagen has something new. This, a bigger, longer-lasting engine. How long will it last? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
But here's the kicker. These boosters weren't actually designed with crash safety in mind. Most were just foam, vinyl, or molded plastic without much structure. In an accident, they didn't restrain the child so much as launch them forward from a slightly higher elevation. But in the marketing, you'd see smiling kids sitting tall, legs dangling, while mom and dad were reassured this was the modern way to keep the family safe.
How do you improve a car that consistently has had the highest repeat ownership of any U.S. luxury car make? How do you improve a Cadillac? The sedan DeVille, for example. First, you engineer it to make more efficient use of space. Give it more rear legroom and headroom.
And let's not forget the vinyl upholstery. On a hot summer day, those booster seats would practically fuse to the backs of your thighs. Climbing out after a long drive meant leaving behind half your skin, something every 70s kid can probably still feel just thinking about it. In hindsight, the booster-style seats were more about convenience than protection, but they marked an important step. People were at least starting to think about child safety in cars, even if the execution was more hope and a prayer than high-tech engineering. Number 3. Gran Prix baby car seat, early 70s.
Number 1 by more than double in sales and popularity. Cadillac offers for 1974, the leadership cars of the land. Cadillac 74 is number 1 in choice, with 9 different models, plus luxury versions never before available.
Contoured seat design, vinyl covering with thick foam backing, chrome-plated tubular steel frame, because chrome was how you knew something was premium, and an 11.5-inch parachute-style strap. Offered padded headrest and somewhat rigid protection. But vinyl plus summer heat equals a sweaty mess. Kids remember being stuck in these seats on hot days, backs soaked, shoes sliding around. Also, the steel frame meant bumps in the road were felt, which had a way of reminding you the seat was there, not always comfortably.
Beauty. We do not always agree on its definition. But if beauty can be grace, spirit, dignity, and strength, then surely many will consider this truly beautiful. The 1974 Imperial LeBaron. Some will find beauty in the precision of LeBaron's design and assembly. For others, it will lie in things of touch and texture.
All right, real talk. If you've watched more of my videos than you've ever ridden around without a seatbelt, it's time to subscribe. I'll keep serving up the nostalgia. You just hit that button and we'll call it even. And if you're on Facebook, come cruise over to our flashback party. We've got memories, mayhem, and probably somebody still complaining about sticking to the vinyl seats in July. Number 4. The Rover baby seat.
This is the first Granville. You can't buy a smoother, more luxurious ride at any price. It's pure Pontiac.
Yellow and white vinyl, generous padding, 2.5-inch Cerafoam at seat, dot back. Adjustable height headrest, 2 levels, pretty thick shoulder straps. The Rover looked friendly, bright, cheerful, maybe even stylish for its time. But it was bulky. Traveling with one was a hassle.
Every classic automobile is unique, yet every one evolved out of a special relationship between a car and a driver. A relationship based on what the car can deliver and what the driver can appreciate.
And that vinyl cover? Every spill stained like crazy, and cleaning was a production. Also, in a crash scenario, the straps and padding weren't much protection. But hey, the Rover made parents feel like they'd done something right. Number 5. Plastic steering wheel. Attachment. Add-on trough toy.
I know my own needs. And what I need from an automobile, I know I get from this new Cordova. I could ask for nothing beyond the quality of Cordova's workmanship, the tastefulness of its appearance.
One of the oddest accessories, a plastic steering wheel you could attach to many of the toddler/infant seats. It fit most seats, except the molded kind, cost about $1.80 in 1971, and was meant to entertain the kid while riding. Great idea until you realize it offered zero safety, might break, bounce around in traffic, or fly off. But for many of us, the squeaky little wheel, bright color, and the feeling of helping drive were enough to forget everything else. Number 6. Basic early booster toddler seats, 1971.
For 1979, each Mark V designer has expressed his personality in his own Mark V. The Bill Blass edition, as sleek as a luxury cruiser. The Pucci edition, in the chromatic resort look he made famous. The Cartier edition Mark V, understated like a diamond solitaire.
Seats for toddlers that didn't have full infant recline, upright position, thicker straps, vinyl covers, minimal head padding. Meant to let the kid grow in the seat a bit.
You've got your standards. Everything you do has to meet them. You won't compromise. Lincoln Continental hasn't compromised. Full size, full luxury, it sets a high standard for luxury cars.
Good idea in theory, sketchy in practice. Bumps bounced you around, straps chafed, and without side protection, you were essentially just strapped to the car seat cushion. Still, these seats were everywhere. If you were a toddler in a 70s family, you probably graduated to one, and the memory of sitting there, watching the road go by, sticks with you. Before we pull into the driveway, let's check out some of your awesome memories from the last video. These throwbacks are priceless, and I'd love to share even more of your stories in the next one. So tell me, did you ride in one of these vintage car seats? Or maybe just bounce around loose in the back seat? Drop your memory down below, and who knows, you might see it pop up right here next time. Number 7. Sears infant seats and built for car. Travel seats, late 70s models.
Quality.
Nobody demands more from a Datsun than Datsun.
By the late 70s, brands like Sears started offering more travel-friendly infant seats. Smaller, lighter plastic shells, padded interiors, ability to recline somewhat, even bonus features like carrying handles. They still lacked modern crash testing or multi-point harnesses, but getting in and out of the car was easier. For many families, these were the first practical seats, not just photo props, but something you used regularly. These car seats remind us that nostalgia isn't just about the shiny chrome or the car radio. It's about all the weird, hopeful gear our parents bought to try to keep us safe, often before the science caught up. These seats were big, clunky, maybe sketchy by today's rules, but they were symbols of love. If you were ever buckled into one, you know what I mean.